The Dex Legacy is intended for a mature, adult audience and contains themes that some may find upsetting. A comprehensive list of trigger warnings covering the entire season can be found in the show notes. Previously on the Dex Legacy, the unwelcome discovery that the International Confederation of World Leaders would be meeting on Dex Island in 1 week's time posed a temporary challenge to Nathaniel Dex's state of equilibrium. After all, a delegation of world leaders descending upon a closed and secretive state for 3 days of talks and negotiations is bound to raise logistical concerns. Fortunately, he and Tristan were able to formulate a plan that would solve all. Unfortunately, the plan relies heavily on the availability of most Dex resources. Thanks to Isra's blunt solution to her emotional challenges related to Ren's escape plan, both Dex resources and Nathaniel's state of equilibrium are about to be stretched to new extremes. Listening to The Dex Legacy, Season 2, Episode 3, Flight, starring Chris Gregory, Warren Graham, Annika Kordes, Lewie Watson, Danny Scott, David S. Deer, Kamara Elliott, Kelsey Griffin, Charlie Richards, Tiffany Clare, Alex White, Stevie Skinner, and Emily Inkpen, with music by Allen Stroud.
What is it, Otto?
Error report. The chips belonging to Varian, Isra and Ren Dex have stopped transmitting.
What?
The chips belonging to Varian, Isra and Ren Dex have stopped transmitting.
What do you mean? Is it a malfunction or something else?
Signal interrupted. Transmission lost.
Are they in their cabins? In any of the transports?
They are not.
Did they say anything to you before they disappeared?
All conversations are private and encrypted.
Okay. Confounded robot. Notify Devek, Tristan and Nathaniel.
They have already been informed.
Tristan, you're already here.
Nathaniel, I've just secured a connection to the Blood Road. We need to know if they were taken, or if they ran.
How would they disable their chips? All 3 chips.
I don't know. How would anyone? But we can't rule it out.
The cabins are empty, sir. And I found this.
That's the Dominossi net.
Connection muted.
Oh, sir. What's the Dominossi net doing on the Blood Road?
What are you talking about? It's in my lab vault.
Then what do you call that?
I call that the Dominossi net, or a net of the same design.
Nathaniel, Tristan, Osa, what's going on?
Hello, Devek. I need to contact my lab.
How have the chips stopped working? It can't be a malfunction.
We're facing 2 alternatives. Capture, or...
The net is not in the lab vault. This is the Dominossi net.
And why isn't it in the lab?
I don't know, Nathaniel. I told one of my scientists to lock it in a secure vault. It is now missing.
Call them here. I will speak to them myself.
I can deal with...
Clearly you can't deal with anything. Call them.
Immediately.
We must assume they've escaped of their own accord.
We should never have let them out.
Devek, how fast can they run?
At a flat sprint, 62 kilometers per hour. At a more sustained run, 10 less than that, depending on the terrain.
That is fast.
Almost double that of most other humans.
Otto, activate the map table.
Map table activated.
Set a perimeter at 78 kilometers from the camp. We'll widen our search area in 30 minutes.
Where will they go?
Well, that's what we need to establish.
They will either go north and aim for Argon, or south through Eteran on their way to the Jakrat Undercity.
The most populated or least populated places on the planet.
They could have reached Notorin or Yit Nerissa already. I have eyes there, and in most other North Eteran towns since this conflict on the Blood Road began. If they're making for Argon, they'll have to get past the mountains first. I have eyes in Port Nova. I doubt they'd try to cross the mountains on foot into North Jakra. They're too well known there, and they'd be visible from the air.
Tristan, I want your agents in North Jakra on alert as well, just in case.
Don't worry. I'll mobilise them all.
But I am worried. And with good reason. How far do you think they've got?
It depends which direction they went in.
Auto, get me Idris.
Connection request. Idris Morrowether.
Good morning, Nathaniel. How can I help?
Private channel, now.
Yep. Go ahead.
Varian, Isra and Ren are missing. I need your pilots mobilised for a search along the mountains, over them, everywhere.
Missing? Have they been captured?
At this point, we're assuming they've left of their own accord. They'll be covering ground fast.
I'll get the swarm out now.
Good.
Connection terminated.
At least you'll be able to see them easily enough if they've gone into Eteran.
We can't fly into Eteran airspace.
Even if we explained the situation.
Devek, the last thing we want is for the world to know about this.
But surely, Nathaniel, a joint effort to find them would...
If another country seizes them, they will be taken to a foreign lab and they will never see the light of day again.
They will. Because I'll go and get them.
You would go personally?
Of course, Osa. We just need a lead.
Tristan, how can we get a lead if we can't track them?
And what if Eteran does find them? North Jakra have paid us to fight the Eterans, but if the Eterans have the children and use them as leverage against us, that would seriously damage our reputation.
You will get me solutions or nothing. I refuse to have my head filled with questions at this time. You will track them. You will find them. You will bring them back here to me. There is no alternative. Do I make myself clear? Do you know how much they've cost me? Just to hand them over to another government laboratory. The International Confederation is coming here in a few days. And if any of them find out what we've been doing here, there will be no more International Confederation. There'll be no more Dex Island. No more of anything, because in making them, we've broken every international law on human rights ever written. The only reason they haven't shut us down yet is because there's no evidence to suggest that our experiments hurt people. One conversation with those three, and that's it. Party over.
Every country on this planet breaks human rights codes in the interest of research. Every day.
But their leaders maintain enough distance to claim plausible deniability. I do not have that luxury. They are my children. For the sake of the gods. They're my children. In Fenros, I had to adopt them so we could use them. Being their father gave me freedom from higher level scrutiny. But now that we're our own country, with our own freedoms, they're tied to me, and I cannot deny them. Osa, why are you still here? Get back to your lab and get me answers!
I will.
We can track them. It will take longer, but I have eyes everywhere, and Varian, Isra and Ren are not trained to blend in. They've never gone undercover before.
Find them. Bring them home. Then I'll decide what to do with them.
Ren, are you sure we can't stop? We should refill our flasks.
We can't, Varian. Agents, we keep going.
Varian's right, Ren. We can't keep this up forever.
Auto bought us time, but it took us an hour to creep through Eteran lines unseen. We can't afford to stop yet.
There's another road up ahead, but we can't just run up and over it. Let's stop and talk about this.
We have to keep moving.
We just can't keep going and going.
We have stims. We need to keep taking them and keep covering ground.
Ren, you're talking about flat running for days.
Ren, we can't.
Don't you understand? This is it. This is our chance. It's all we're ever going to get. And they're already looking for us. That means perimeters. It means searches. It means every agent on the planet has been put on high alert.
Ren, we can't run at a flat sprint for days on end. If we run through tomorrow and then rest, we can save some stims in case they catch up with us. And we have to fight.
If we have to fight, then it's already too late.
Ren's right. We have to outrun them. Get down.
What is it?
That transport.
It could have been agents from Eteran doing a first sweep. We have to move.
All right. Let's dose up.
Kit, what's going on?
Morning, Val. No idea yet. There's no brief, no nothing. Not sure what the doctor's doing here either.
Dr. Devek? Yeah, that's unusual.
Every one of you is a Dex agent. A ghost. You do not exist. Your lives are without record or note, and you will pass from the world having left no mark upon it. But before that time comes, you will recover the President's children.
Oh, gods. I tortured those kids for 3 days.
You will discover their location, tranquilize them, and bring them back here without serious injury.
It'll have to be one hell of a tranquilizer.
At this point, we're working on the assumption that they have escaped, so we can also assume they will resist arrest.
So, he's sending us out to die?
They can't be that bad.
Your instructions are to locate, report location, target and tranquilize at a safe distance, and approach only when you are absolutely certain the drugs have taken effect.
All right, maybe they are that bad.
Devek.
Each of you will be armed with a set of tranquilizer darts and a gun. Do not use these tranquilizers on anyone other than your 3 targets. At this dose, a person of standard anatomy will die instantly. You may need to fire more than 1 shot. Now, their uniforms are lined with Gossan plates and are fitted with a Gossan collar, so it will be impractical to aim for the neck. A diagram of the specific weak points is included in the brief. Study it and don't miss.
They're so quick. Anyone who does miss is dead.
I've mobilized the agents I have in the field. I'm sending all of you to different locations to support the efforts already underway. Briefs are now available in your files. Valentina, Kit, stay. The rest of you, go. I'm sending you to the Blood Road. I need you to investigate the scene and question the soldiers there.
Yes, sir.
You think they would be in cooperation with the fugitives, sir?
I think it likely that at least one of them will know something. You must persuade them to share it.
When you say persuade?
I mean what I say. Find out who they are and do what you need to do to make them talk.
Yes, sir.
Kit, I may need you to deal with the North Jakran Command. I'll have more information for you later.
Yes, sir.
When we have a concrete lead, I will make contact and you will join the effort to locate and disable.
Sir, as lead interrogator during the torture test, this wouldn't be my first exposure to the President's children.
So?
I hurt them then. If they see me now, they will kill me.
That's a risk I'm willing to take. Will this be a problem, Vardi? Will you be unfit to serve the Dex state?
No, sir. I live to serve, sir.
Good. Now go.
Valentina, why are you so worried about seeing them again?
Kit, I strapped them down and administered precision shock treatments to their joints for 8 hours. Isra Dex almost tore my head off. If they see me again, I won't live through it.
But we have to follow orders, or we won't live through anything.
I know. All I can do is hope it's another team that pins them down. The closer we are to those kids, the closer we are to death.
Noted.
Any sign of them, Rhaya?
No, Idris, nothing.
Same. We're coming up blank.
You know what that means, right?
I think so.
They can't have gone into a terror, surely.
Rhaya, who do you think's leading this operation?
Ren, of course.
And Ren's smart. He'll have taken them where we can't follow.
Idris, are you on a private line?
I am. Talk to me, kid.
What if we let them go? What if we stop looking?
Where's this coming from, Rhaya?
Back on Dex Island, I was in the lab getting my eye looked at. And I saw Isra. And she was unconscious and...
You saw her deactivated, as my esteemed colleagues call it. Was she in that rack?
You know about that?
Yeah, I do. I've seen it before, and it's rough.
If they're running...
And if they're not...
But they are.
Rhaya, all those years ago after I arrived on Dex Island and realized what was going on there, I couldn't get out. They make it very difficult to leave Dex Industries once you're there. So I looked around me and I decided if I had to stay, I was going to do everything I could to look after you kids and make sure at least some of you survived. Now, if we find those 3, do you think they'll be killed?
No.
Yeah, me neither. I think they'll be in trouble, and they'll be punished. But they're tough, and I'll do what I can for them when they get through it. Now, what about us? If we stopped looking, what would happen to us then?
You think they'd kill us?
Not you, kid. Not while I'm breathing. But that's the trick. If I'm going to keep you safe, I have to be alive to do it. This is big stuff. Varian, Isra, and Ren are the most advanced tech Dex Industries has ever produced. I'm sitting up here in this giant airship, which is unlike anything else in the world, and scientifically, it's nothing. It's a blip compared to what's been done to those 3. Now they're on the run, and people they left behind are going to get caught in the crossfire, and I don't plan on either of us going down. So keep looking. And if you see them, call it in. Because we need to look after each other, too. Am I clear?
Yes. Thanks, Idris.
No worries, kid. Keep flying.
Tristan, you sent your lead investigator to the Blood Road to get information from the other soldiers.
Yes, Devek. What of it?
Slight concern only. If we lose Varian, Isra and Ren, those other soldiers will be the best we've got.
They will not be hurt, Devek. Valentina is persuasive.
Yes, I've seen her work. I just...
Tristan?
Oh, sir.
What will Nathaniel do to them? To Varian, Isra and Ren?
That's not our business. They're his children.
They are our children.
You think he sees any of this as ours?
They're running for a reason, Tristan. If they had no reason to, we wouldn't be in this mess.
If they had no reason to? What if they didn't have the means to? Where's your scientist, Osa? The one who failed to secure the net?
Nathaniel is speaking to her now.
I wouldn't get too attached if I were you.
I need to know how this happened in the first place. And make sure it never happens again. But they planned it. They stole for it, and it would have not been easy to steal from my lab. They put a great deal of thought into this, and if we catch them...
When we catch them.
If we catch them, we cannot torture them again. You can't torture them again, Tristan. It was wrong the first time, and it would be...
Osa, Nathaniel is unlikely to order physical torture. It's far more likely he'll have them locked in a room for a couple of days.
Which one of them do you think's behind it?
Oh, please. I think we all know the answer to that question.
Isra?
Ren. As you say, Osa, breaking into your lab wouldn't have been easy. It has Ren's long, delicate fingers all over it.
They all have access to the lab, and we never supervise them. There seemed little point after years of them running through every measure we put in place to keep them out.
We haven't been watching them closely enough.
One thing's certain. They're running away from Dex Island now, but when we drag them back here, it will be a prison. And they will get no more chances.
In Season 2, Episode 3 of The Dex Legacy, you heard Chris Gregory as Nathaniel Dex, Warren Graham as Tristan Krail, Annika Kordes as Dr. Osa Srivastava, Louis Watson as Dr. Devek Danny Scott as Ash, David S. Deer as Idris Morrowether, Kamara Elliott as Varian Dex, Kelsey Griffin as Isra Dex, Charlie Richards as Ren Dex, Tiffany Clare as Valentina Vardi, Alex White as Kit Johansson, Stevie Skinner as Rhaya, and Emily Inkpen as Otto, with music by Dr. Allen Stroud. Season 2 was recorded at Orpheus Studio in London by Richard Campbell. The Dex Legacy is written by me, Emily Inkpen, and produced by Alternative Stories. If you enjoyed that episode, please like, subscribe, and leave a review. It really does help. If you would like to support The Dex Legacy, you can. Just visit www.thedexlegacy.com/support for links and details. Special thanks go out to all of our Season 2 Kickstarter supporters, including Keith Sanderson, David Middleham, Captain Foley of the Trekyards YouTube channel, Don Flinspa, Tom Bridges, Joe Lindsay Walton, Caroline Mersey, Dave Chadwick, Lenny Price, Jeff Park, and Jeff Habiger for making Season 2 possible. We couldn't have done it without you.